How would you like a car designed with your input in mind? Well, that's exactly what GM did with this Pontiac Aztek. It's brand new. The year model is 2001, and it's a flash red. What they did is they went to the streets of North America and they said, well, what would you like to see in your next SUV? So they surveyed a whole bunch of people, and then they input all of that information into the computer, and then the designers got all that information and came up with this. But there isn't really a cohesive design to the Aztek. Let's start at the back and show you what this has on offer. Take a look at the angles though. Maybe someone said, well, we want to have the lights up high, the rear lenses up high, right there so we can see them. Good idea for visibility, but really, I don't know, it doesn't have the lines that I like to see in a car or a vehicle. This looks very military to me. It's just one great big line down, nothing smooth and round about it. I think these are a bad idea too. Any paint shop will tell you, you put these things on to stop grit, things scratching the running boards, but any good painter will tell you all that does is catch salt, and then of course the rust sets in. At the front, maybe one of those customers said, well, we want to see a nice big front. I feel safer in a car with a nice big front, a great big bumper like that. And that's certainly what they've done here. And of course they have the stack design with the headlights here and the indicators on top. I don't know. I'm going to drive it now. We're going to see what it drives like, but on first impressions, at least visually, it's a bit of an ugly duckling, isn't it? Well, obviously I've had a peek through the windows, and now that I'm actually in the cabin, the lack of cohesive design certainly exists, I guess, in the cabin as well. Look at these big, ugly, bumpy, frog-eyed, bug-eyed vents. All they're doing is pushing out air. Why do they do that? And the thing is, a round area like that gives you nowhere to put a map or anything. You know, you always have things like that in the car that you need to stow. They're going to fall off and slide away. It's a waste of space as well. I always think you could change a baby on there on top of the dashboard. But it's an ugly dashboard, I think. They got this mottled, spackled look here, and then the same kind of thing there, but why didn't they just do exactly the same treatment? It's actually different but same, if you know what I mean. They've got an interesting thing happening with the center console. As you probably know, if you've got a car like mine, the center console is where you throw the chip wrapper and you throw, you know, the gum wrappers, and then of course bacteria sets in and you've got a big mess. That's all it is a garbage dumping ground. But if you look at this, on the Aztek, they've got a place to put some ice cubes, and of course, it's a cooler. How does that come out? There we are. And the cooler takes 12 pops, 12 soda, or pops, and of course you can put your milk bottles in there as well for your baby, which is a good idea, so I like that. And you can carry it away and refill it in the fridge. The Pontiac Aztek comes in a 3.4 V6 185 horsepower engine. And of course it comes with all the options in the GT, but you can also get the base model, which has, you know, the basic standard things. It's got a lot of power under the hood. Let's see what it does here on Bell Island in Detroit, just across the river. This of course is shut down right now. It's the off season, snow everywhere, and a few people just feeding the geese and what have you, but this is a very appropriate place to be test driving a car. They do the famous Indy kart race here every summer, part of the kart circuit. I think I saw Michael Andretti spin out on this corner actually last summer. I'll say one thing about the Aztek. You do feel safe sitting inside the cabin. You're high off the ground and it's very, very big and bulky, which does give you a feeling of security and comfort, and that's important, I guess, with, you know, some of the aggressive drivers that we have on the highways and byways these days. It's funny, that big window, the hatch at the back has a line right across in the rear view mirror. It's very distracting. That's going to annoy the hell out of every driver that gets behind the front wheel. The Pontiac Aztek will not be available in Britain and Europe, and you should think yourself lucky. I really just can't come to grips with the outside appearance. I just don't like it. I think it's a very ugly car. It looks like a tank. It's got the side walls are just right down, just very ugly. No rounded design, no smooth contours. It's an ugly vehicle. But on the upside, when you're sitting where I am now, it feels safe, it drives really nicely, it grips the road very well. So maybe those people that were involved in the survey were right.